Pressure continues to build on embattled House Speaker Michael Madigan. Now Governor Pritzker is calling on the powerful Democrat to fully answer questions in a bribery scandal or step down.
Now, Madigan hasn't been charged. He issued a long statement today insisting he has done nothing wrong. WGN's Julian Cruz is in our newsroom now with more details. Julian.
Ray, in an extraordinary public rebuke, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker blasting the conduct of Illinois Speaker of the House Michael Madigan. 4 of Madigan's associates criminally charged in an ongoing federal investigation, accused of hatching a bribery scheme with utility ComEd. Pritzker, in a sharply worded statement this afternoon, urging Madigan to explain his conduct to the people of Illinois or step down.
The pay-to-play quid pro quo situation outlined in these indictments released last night are unspeakably wrong.
J.B. Pritzker coming down hard on Michael Madigan at his regular afternoon press conference, the governor demanding answers from the Speaker of the Illinois House.
If Speaker Madigan wants to continue in a position of enormous public trust with such a serious ethical cloud hanging over his head, then he has to, at the very least, be willing to stand in front of the press and the people and answer every last question to their satisfaction.
The extraordinary broadside playing out publicly. More bad news for Madigan, with Illinois lawmakers attacking his conduct.
We have evidence that Speaker Madigan did, in fact, have conversations with Mike McLean about the corrupt board seat at ComEd.
Republican lawmakers turning up the heat on embattled Speaker of the House Michael Madigan in the wake of yesterday's federal bribery scheme indictment against 4 Madigan associates.
Today, we just learned that Speaker Madigan does not have the votes for Speaker for the next General Assembly. He doesn't have 60 votes today, and nor will he have them in January, and he will not be reelected.
Durkin and fellow Republicans say the indictment points an incriminating finger at lobbyist Michael McLean and his powerful boss, Mike Madigan. The revelation emboldening GOP legislators, as well as more than a dozen Democrats, arguing that Democrat Madigan no longer has enough votes for another term, and they say he needs to step down. The House Speaker, Michael Madigan, not named in the 50-page federal indictment, and he's not charged with any criminal wrongdoing, but in new court filings, it's clear that investigators are scrutinizing his actions surrounding bribery allegations. Also named in the indictment, retired ComEd executive John Hooker, former City Club of Chicago chief Jay Doherty, and former ComEd CEO Ann Promiguri, all 4 through their lawyers disputing the allegations, accusing the feds of conducting an overzealous prosecution. In a written statement released by the Speaker himself, Michael Madigan says, quote, "The indictment returned Wednesday does not allege any criminal misconduct on my part. I have not been accused of or charged with any wrongdoing. After a lengthy investigation, the U.S. Attorney's Office has charged, but of course has not proven, that certain ComEd employees, consultants, and lobbyists allegedly conspired with one another in the hope of somehow influencing me in my official capacity. Let me be clear, if that attempt ever happened, it was never made known to me." Governor Pritzker, in his scathing remarks today, pointing out that people are innocent until proven guilty, but he says public servants like Madigan are held to a higher standard. Efforts to reach Madigan for comment have been unsuccessful. In the newsroom, Julian Cruz, WGN News.
Thank you, Julian.